Our community loved the small potato soiree, which was held at the shop located at 309 Otrobando Avenue here in Norwich, Connecticut. Everyone really loves this shop, which is owned by Erica Sullivan Corvette. It is just full of cool items which are Connecticut made. Here you'll find wind chimes, colorful tie-dye shirts, soaps, bird feeders, lizards, jewelry, large pots of herbs, and hundreds of other gifts. At the soiree, wonderful artisans were selling beautiful and creative wares, and there was great music too. But the best thing was a community garden. Erica tells us more about this important fundraiser. How did you get interested in starting the community garden?
Oh, that's a tough one. This property where we're at used to be an apple orchard. So it obviously has good soil and it can grow things really well. This tree right here still has apples and you might get conked in the head with one of them. So I figured it's very fertile. We could do a little garden. I actually wanted to do a garden for myself for the store just to have something to do, and then we decided let's make it bigger and let's make it something for the soup kitchen.
What kind of plants are you growing in your garden?
Well, we started with peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, zucchini, and we put some eggplant in too.
Who has donated to the cause?
A lot of local businesses have been really, really cool. A lot of people have helped out, but business-wise, I'll probably leave a few out, but there's been Ace Hardware, Malerba's, which is a farm stand, Hearts, which is a garden shop up around the corner. One of the people who helped do the actual tilling of the grass to get all the soil going, Algiers Landscaping. So there's been quite a few people.
What is the reaction when you deliver the herbs and vegetables to the soup kitchen?
The chef is the one I always give them to, and he is always so happy because they can't necessarily afford to have fresh herbs, so they buy the jarred ones, and they just don't taste as good. So he loves when I bring the fresh stuff down.
Is there anything else you would like to tell us?
It's not easy to have a garden. It's not as easy as I thought. There's a lot of work that goes along with it, and I think that whenever you do a community project, you have to plan. And like I mentioned, all the vegetables and things that we planted, they didn't all live. So the fence isn't high enough. Some deer got in and ate some of our squash. Lesson learned. Next year we're going to make a taller fence.
Yeah.
We had some peppers in the corner of the garden, didn't get enough sun. They didn't make it, so we won't put them there next year. So there's a lot of learning that you have to be able to stumble through.
Can you please show us the garden?
Absolutely, let's go.
Thank you.
Sure.
So how did you get that cool fence?
That fence was something I found on Pinterest. Love Pinterest. I typed in cheap fence and popped up with a pallet fence. And what a pallet is are things that you get deliveries on. So I went over to Agway and they sold them to me for $1 each. And we have about 36 of them in there. And I went over, picked up the pallets back and forth, and a friend of mine helped install it. We basically with some wood poles to hold them up. And then we decided to be fun and we went around and we painted on it, just all different colors. So people gave us, we have donated paint. I said, whatever you have, just bring it over, and we put it on there, and it's been sturdy, it's staying up, and hopefully it'll make the winter. We'll see what happens. So here we have actually this lovely little sunflower that I planted with a couple seeds just for giggles. Behind it you'll see we have about, I think 12 tomato plants that we got from Hearts, and they are doing so well. I just harvested yesterday probably an assortment of about 15 tomatoes, and as you can see there's a ton of green ones. They're just going to start going. They're just going to start turning red. I'm going to have buckets and buckets of tomatoes. I'm going to be making a delivery tomorrow with probably about 10 pounds of tomatoes. And I know the chef is going to be totally excited. And then in this row right here we have eggplant that's starting to come out. It's just like a squash. It comes out of a flower. It's my first time doing eggplant, and it's really fun to see them grow. And they just come right out of the flower just like a zucchini or a squash. And we have about 3 of them budding right now. All right, so the last thing I want to show you guys is that this little painting, we had an event a couple months ago where we raised some money for the garden, and these three lovely ladies partook in helping with this painting. And this is kind of our logo that we came up with, Seeds to Soup, meaning we're planting and then it's hopefully going to the soup kitchen. And these girls put all different vegetables, so it's kind of our little logo, and I keep it up on the store door.